Yeah, welcome everybody to another edition Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negger, and we're talking about the issues that emanate from Montgomery County and beyond. How you doing? I'm doing good. Smack dab in the middle of the summer, and how do I know it's summer? Because every time I want to go to my community pool kind of thing, it just rains. That's how I know summer's here. Smack dab in the middle of it. 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:36. Okay, kids, let's go. Let's go to the pool. Get in the damn car, put on a bathing suit. What the? How the? Who the? But it's all right. It's all right. Able to enjoy it. July 4th, got to go down to South Carolina. Myrtle Beach, Charleston. You know, good places. Myrtle Beach, interesting place. That's what I'll just say about that. You know, anytime you get to the ocean, that's, I feel like the Who in Quadrophenia. Just get to the ocean, right? Let me get out to the ocean. Let me get out to the sand. But anyway, we're down there, and then we went to Charleston. And Charleston, wonderful city. But you know what? Thing about Charleston is, like, I went down there the first time 25, 30 years ago, and it was even better back then because there was secrets. You know how I feel about this kind of stuff. The internet, the information superhighway has ruined things, absolutely ruined things. There's no more secrets anywhere in the United States, right? No more secrets. Everybody finds it. Just type it in. Oh, I'm a schmuck. I can go there. You know, now they got fat guys with ice cream dripping on their fat bellies. You've heard all this before. It used to be very quaint. Everyone in blue blazers running around, you know, the hoi polloi. And now it's just like slobs wearing sandals and socks, looking like Doughboy from Boys in the Hood. But anyway, you know, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I wear the sandals and socks inside the house, though. I got hardwood floors. It's like I just can't wear socks. It hurts my feet. I'm an old man. I could tell you about Escrow. Just like that Dana Carvey skit. But speaking about old man, right? I've had my first, it's not even old man moment. It's like you read about stuff in the newspaper. You see stuff on Yahoo and Google and, you know, Entertainment Tonight and all this kind of stuff. And you read about the young people living on TikTok and Snapchat and things like that. I finally experienced it. I was in a hockey locker room the other day, and there was a guy on their team. He was the goalie. He had a good game, right? He had a really good game. He played well. And, you know, I gave it up to him. I said, hey, man, nice job, good game. And what's he do? He takes out his camera in the locker room, takes out his phone in the locker room, starts filming himself drinking a beer. And then someone said, hey, good game. And guy's like, he pauses the thing. He says, can you say that on film? Can you say that on my Snapchat? So he goes, take two. He drinks a beer again, and then he's like pointing at the guy, and the guy's like, yeah, good game. Good game, good game. He's like, oh, thanks. I got that on Snapchat. I was like, who lives life with pauses and retakes? You know, I'd never really seen it before. I've only heard about it. And now that I've lived it, it's even more shocking than I thought it would be. I mean, it's almost a turnoff. I mean, good guys. It's not like jerks or anything of that sort, but it's just, what best life are you living? You know, and I'm not one of these. I'm on Facebook. I'm posting nonsense. I'm posting things too. I mean, I try to use Facebook irreverently. I try to post silly stuff. I posted stuff about this program and all of that, but nothing serious. I don't try to get anybody into debates about certain things because I understand it's not worth it. I am a little too thin-skinned to have people attack me, you know, on Facebook and in print. You know, it's because it's too easy. It's just too easy. And I don't know if I'm thin-skinned. I just don't want to get into fights over something. What do I need that aggravation for? I yell at my kids enough. Do your homework. Eat dinner. Clean your room. Do something. You know, I got enough problems everywhere else, let alone getting something on Facebook. What do I need that for? Why? Why, I ask you. But this best life kind of stuff, I mean, it is unbelievable. I can't believe that the guy he actually took 3 takes. 3 takes. You give me 3 sips of a beer, it's gone. He kept taking, no, take 2, take 3. Maybe you should have product placement in the back and all of that kind of stuff. But you can't live life as a movie. It doesn't work that way. To some people, I guess it does. But who are you proving it? What are you showing out to? Who are you proving it to? In a men's league game, by the way. Yeah, you played well, but it's a freaking men's league game. Who cares? I've been accused of caring too much sometimes. I'm not competitive. I don't need to win at checkers. I don't need to win at chess all the time. These hopscotch, whatever. I don't need to win at stuff I don't need to prove dominance. There are certain times where I do want to win. If we're playing a team game or something that I enjoy, I'd like to win. But I'm not so over the top. But I do care. I care about how I play. Because once you stop caring about things, that's when you get lazy and it starts to slip, right? Think about it. Once you stop caring about your job, that's when you're not, no, I'm not going to hand in that TPS report. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Once you start caring, it's a slippery slope. Stop caring, right? So I care. I want to play. I'm getting older. I'm worried about it a little bit, about losing some skill and stuff. So I gotta play harder. And I want to. I enjoy it. It's fun. But this thing, it was unbelievable. I mean, and the whole thing is I had to hold my tongue in that locker room because it's just, you don't want to embarrass somebody, but there is a certain time. Are you kidding me? But then it'll be like, they turn it around. Everybody turns it around. Hey, old man, you're not on Snapchat? Hell no. Hell no, I'm not on Snapchat. What the hell is Snapchat? What do I need it for? Again, another thing about I put myself out here on this podcast all the time. All 47 people who listen to it, I do get some feedback and I appreciate it. I really do. I got a couple real people out there, and soon enough I'll name names. Name names now, damn it. Name names. But I got people who write back and say, I enjoyed the program and thanks for talking, because it's sometimes the voice that you hear out there is just not real. It's the loudest. It's the most put out there, most, how do I say it? Most expansive, like through the newspapers and stuff like that. But there is an undercurrent in the United States here, and boy, am I jumping around, but there's an undercurrent in the United States of people like me who really are in the middle. It's like that don't have to go left, don't have to go right. I'm not going to go down that road again, but there is a voice there, and someone better start speaking for it. When I was in New Rochelle, when I lived in New Rochelle, the city of New Rochelle, and that's a key term right there, the city of New Rochelle, I ran for city council. I thought I could help the city of New Rochelle. I had ideas and this and that, and I went out, knocked on doors, did what I had to do. It wasn't about politics. I wasn't looking to be a Republican or Democrat or pushing a conservative or progressive agenda. I wasn't trying to reimagine anything. I was trying to improve things, but I was out there because I cared about my city. It's where I grew up. It's where I moved back to. And, I figured if I'm going to live here, what's going to get me off the couch? This will get me off the couch. This is going to make a difference. But I moved down here to Montgomery County, and I don't understand the politics down here. I don't have anybody. I'm in an unincorporated area. It's wonderful for taxes, but not wonderful for anything else. If I need a stop sign, I don't even know who I need to talk to anymore. I'm going to talk to somebody. And the way they have this council set up, there are like 15 people from Tacoma Park in that area. And then there's nobody from Damascus or anywhere else. And then there was something that they tried to do on this past election day to create a referendum to say, let's vote in districts. But no one wanted to vote in districts. They're taking away your vote. No, they're not. They're giving me a voice, actually. Because someone who lives in Tacoma Park doesn't know what the hell's going on in North Potomac or Gaithersburg, and they sure as hell don't know what the hell's going on in Damascus or Clarksburg. Why would you go to Clarksburg? Why would you go up there if you're from Tacoma Park or Silver Spring or Kensington or anywhere of those? And again, it's just geography. And the people in the 30-mile radius of me, not 30, but 15-mile radius, which could be a couple 100,000 people, it would make a difference that we could all talk and better and understand the issues inside our community and beyond, right? But Montgomery County, have you ever seen anything that's so big? 220 schools in the school district, close to, I guess, 180 to 200,000 students, maybe 180,000 students. How are you going to have equity in that? It's just too big. They should have a northern Montgomery County School District and a southern one. And when the schools close next to the Frederick border and it's open in Silver Spring because no snow fell down here, then you have school, and you break it up that way. But if one bus can't go out, then the whole school district goes down. It's amazing how I get behind this microphone and all this stuff comes to my head, and it's just, this is not where I wanted to go. I don't know how we went from Snapchat to figuring out how to do districts for Montgomery County, but it's all one train of thought. This is what goes through my mind. This is why I can't sleep anymore, because this is what I'm thinking about all the time. Easily, hands down, without a question in my mind, the best thing about Montgomery County is the recycling center. What? Where you go to throw out your trash? Where you go to put leaf refuse and extra paint cans? Exactly. Because you know what? If you want to recycle and you want to get things put where people aren't illegally dumping motor oil or throwing out paint cans in the regular garbage, then create a Montgomery County recycling center like they have here. I don't know who did it, but I want to give that guy a big high five. I want to slap hands with him. Slap hands. Water sucks. But anyway, I think it's the greatest thing. Today I had a ton of paint cans. And it's like, if I lived in New Rochelle, I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with this? New Rochelle wasn't doing the recycling. And then Westchester County had some recycling hours like 37 miles away in the middle of nowhere. And they only took open on Tuesdays for paint or whatever. Here, it's like I dumped it off. I went to the dentist and then I dumped off stuff at the dump. Dumped it off at the dump. That's alliteration. But anyway, it's fantastic. If you want people to do stuff, try to make it easy for them. A lot of times people do need to be conditioned, right? The plastic bag thing, 5 cents for plastic bags. Everyone's up in arms about it, but has that really been an issue in Montgomery County lately? You know, there are some progressive things that are good. But there you go. That's what I'm talking about, right? I'm saying trying to save the environment, but I also don't need to push a liberal agenda. I don't need to push a conservative agenda. You know that, all right? I'm so sick and tired of trying to say not this or that, but this. But that's the world that we live in now, isn't it? Where you have to define yourself. You have to say, hey, before you start yelling at me, before you start getting all over my case, I got to tell you I'm not this or that. I'm in the middle. I like all kinds of music. Remember that show I said about stuff I hate? I hate when everybody says, I like all kinds of music. Come on, you don't like ragtime. All right, stop it. Nobody does. It's just, everybody wants to be so likable and so everything. It's okay to be different. It's okay not to be liked by everybody. It doesn't mean that you have to be a jerk, but it's okay not to be liked by everybody. Am I right? That's what my son says all the time now. Am I right? Am I right? I'm like, oh, nobody I wanted to smack more than this. So I'm reading the newspaper, and we pulled out of Afghanistan, right? Boy, Afghanistan. If you want your country to get hurt or being taken down a notch, just put troops in Afghanistan, right? That Taliban. Oh, but we could deal with them. They're reasonable. Military presence doesn't mean anything. This is what I don't understand. Everybody tells everybody what we're going to do. What kind of policy is that? If we're going to pull out of Afghanistan, I understand it, but you don't set a specific date to say this is what we're doing and then just leave all this military equipment there. I mean, when I was a kid, I remember the pictures of Vietnam in Saigon, right? When they're trying to get everybody out of there and there was nothing left and they couldn't get any more people out. You know, they're pushing helicopters into the river so they couldn't be used again. Here we just leave everything. Humvees, munitions, whatever. Let them overrun the base and take it. I mean, what do we have a Pentagon for? And seriously, as a president, you know, any president who thinks this was a good idea. I mean, and then the Taliban, they're reasonable. You know, guys are surrendering. The Afghan army is surrendering and the Taliban's shooting them. I mean, what would they just draw a big circle? Say, okay, around Afghanistan, you know, we worry about human rights, but in here, the hell with it. We're not going to worry about human rights or decency, common decency. Let's just let this one place do whatever they want to do. The Taliban, they're crazy. We shouldn't have been there anyway. Hey, you know what the Taliban has that we don't have? The will. The will to finish something. It's a pretty bold statement, isn't it? And I don't want my sons there. I'm past the age, and so it's easy to sit here and be a war hawk. Oh, I don't want to be a war hawk. Maybe we shouldn't have been in there. Who knows? But still, the United States about human rights and all of this kind of stuff. Everybody needs to be protected. We pull out of Afghanistan, and then people getting shot in the head immediately with our own weapons. Got to be better planner than. What's the plan at the Pentagon? What's the plan at the White House? Seriously, there are people who sit around drinking beer on a deck who could have a better plan. I get it. Another thing here. But has anybody seen, now you're seeing my stripes, right? I definitely lean right. But has anybody seen the correlation between crime and gun violence and progressivism or liberalism? Has anybody seen that? New York City? Anybody of my New York City friends? Right? I was talking about this the other day. You read the New York Post, and I know it's a sensationalist newspaper, but crime is crime. People getting shot in the middle of the day is pretty damn sensational. Guys running up with assassination attempts, even though if they're kids there. Where are the morals of anything? It's like, well, the hell with it. What do I care? I'm a gangster, man. I'm a gangster. You're a gangster till you go to jail and you get smacked up a little bit. You 18-year-old punk. Seriously. I'm sorry. That's exactly what it is. Everyone wants to be a tough guy in this world. What happened to everyone's a tough guy. But this crime stuff, and then Montgomery County, the rate in Montgomery County, crime rate and violent crime rate is going up here too. We're worried about, we have to reimagine policing. We have to defund the police. And we're worried about styrofoam. I get it. I understand it. Don't tell me, hey, styrofoam's a real problem too. I understand it's a problem. But so's gun violence. New York City, de facto elected. They still have to go through the general election. But Eric Adams, the Democratic nominee, what's he saying? He goes, he might bring back the stop and frisk. This is an African American too. But you know what? Everybody wants to be safe. Safety is not a color issue. Safety is not a color issue. It shouldn't be an economic issue either. Safety, you should be able to walk down the street and get some milk and not worry about being run up on by some gang member or somebody, just anybody, some drug guy, whatever, and getting shot. You shouldn't have to worry about walking in Times Square and getting shot randomly. You shouldn't have to worry about being on the subway and getting pushed in or getting caught in some nonsense violence, chain snatching, whatever. What made New York City great? We talked about this before also, but Rudy Giuliani, I know he lost his mind. I know that he lost his mind. But that guy changed the mindset. That's what you have to do. People say, I don't want to be told what to do. Well, if you're not told, then you're not going to do it. If you're not, you have to change the condition. You have to condition people. Sadly, you have to condition people. Because they're so selfish. Everyone is so damn selfish. It's what's in it for me. What's in it for me? The other day, we were driving on 70 up by Frederick. And my wife and I were driving. And one guy was pulled up behind this other guy. And he was giving him the flashing and the lights and all that kind of stuff. So the guy gets out of the way. And then he goes back in the other line and starts tailgating this other guy. And you could see it coming. You could see it coming. So these two started playing the Fast and the Furious. They started trying to play chicken with each other off the road. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Two things about it. I said, if I get stuck behind this and I get hurt, I'm going to be really mad. Second, if I get stuck, I'm going to be really mad because these guys are going to crash. And is it worth it? Is it worth to spite somebody, to give up your life, to seriously injure yourself, or even to damage your car for $3,000 to $5,000? Is that worth it? Enough already. Enough of the anger. Enough of being the tough guy. Yeah, I'll show him. Yeah, MMA, this, that. We're losing civility left and right. And nobody even knows it. And everybody applauds the lack of civility. These guys, right? If they crashed their car, I would have pulled off with my wife. We would have went out to try to help somebody. And then I would have punched them. Because I would have said, you're an idiot. Oh, Bruce, where's your civility? Hey, I went to help him get out of his car. The only other guy I ever wanted to punch is the shoe bomber. Right? For some reason, his face showed up in the newspaper the other day, Richard Reed. That guy years ago who tried to blow up an airplane with his shoes. I hate that guy. All right? That's fair. I hate that guy. Because now at an airport, people wear pajamas. Oh, it is so much easier to get through the metal detectors and the body scans if I just wear sweatpants and pajamas. Because it's acceptable. They're going to make me take my shoes off anyway. And my belt. I hate it too. I hate it. But I still wear pants at the damn airport. Now I'm going to annoy some other people with Crocs. You can't be wearing Crocs. Come on. Maybe to the pool. But you can't be wearing Crocs out. You can't be. Right? That's not even proper English. But you can't be doing it. Going to make fun of my sandals and socks. Make fun of your Crocs. Jeff Fox. The fox that rocks the box. For my WBLS fans. But what I mean about civility and losing class, right? What's up with Tom Brady? What do you mean Tom Brady? He's the GOAT. Tom Brady's the GOAT. He's the best football player ever. He's the best quarterback ever. You know what? And I used to feel that way. I used to root for Tom Brady. Even, I'm a Giant fan. I wasn't rooting for him then. But, Eli Manning to me is classier. Peyton Manning is classier than Tom Brady. I mean, what's Tom Brady trying to do? He's 41 years old. Yeah, he's got it figured out, okay? Takes 2 different teams, a bunch of Super Bowls. He's a big game winner. But then he goes on. I don't know what he's trying to do now. Why is he, the other day he was on, the barbershop with LeBron, on LeBron's show on HBO or something, and I just heard the clips. I didn't watch it. But he's dropping the MF and getting drunk on a boat party and doing all, what are you trying to do? You're 41 years old. You got kids. It's not cool. I mean, are you realizing that your career is winding down, so now you got to be part of the fabric of the culture? I don't get that. I don't understand why he's doing that. But dropping the MF everywhere is not a cool thing, in my opinion. Show some class, Tom. You sleep better than I do because you have Tom Brady recovery. You don't eat tomatoes. You eat better than I do and all this kind of stuff. I respect the work that you put in. But you're 41 years old. You had this certain aura, and now you're trying to tear it down. Why? Why? To be cool? Being cool is who you are. It's whoever you are. That's the coolness of people. There are people who are so uncool that they're cool because they don't try. And that makes the difference. That's, when you're not trying to be cool, it works. You know who's cool now, in my opinion? Nice people. Not overly nice. Not someone who holds the door when you're 40 feet away and you got to run because they're trying to show what kind of manners they have. That's not cool. Just let the door close. I don't feel like breaking a sweat in my suit. Do you understand that? Let the door close. Now you're being selfishly polite. And by the way, that's a term I've invented. That's me and only me. It's called selfishly efficient. Tell me if you have this person at work who will bother you with everything and anything just so they can get their job done. They don't care what you're doing. Oh, I don't mean to disturb you, but I need to ask you for the TPS report. Well, you see I'm in the middle of a meeting or a phone call. I'll get it to you after I'm done. Send me a damn email. I'll get it to you after I'm done. And then they come back and then they have more questions about whatever you just asked them. They're trying to be selfishly efficient. They're selfish. They're efficient and people respect the efficiency, but they will bust in on you and ruin your time and take your time and your valuable minutes to make sure that they get what they get done. Selfishly efficient. Think about it and see if there's someone at work that you know who's like that. And start using that term and say, hey, my man Bruce created that. I got to create a legacy now because that's what everything's about, a legacy or a brand. I got to have a legacy or a brand. My brand, Fat Man. And, everybody, with this Tom Brady stuff, right? And the Tampa Bay Lightning, for any of you who watch hockey, they went out, and I don't understand why celebrating a championship now has to mean you have to be the most obnoxious, sloppy drunk. I don't understand why you have to be sloppy drunk. I like to drink. I like that feeling. I have my drinks. I'm smart about it. Sometimes when it's the home field advantage, when I'm on my own couch or my own back porch, have a couple too many, but I'm not proud of that. There's nothing to be proud of, especially when you got kids. You got to set an example, but I think that's what everybody thinks. It's like, no more examples. Be my kid's best friend. My kids know that I'm their dad. That's the one thing I make sure of. Because my dad made sure I knew he was dad. And they can be friendly, but, there still has to be a line, especially when school's around. They know it's like when I go upstairs and they're like, uh-oh. But yeah, I don't get the common denominator. Why are we trying to be so common? I mean, a good time doesn't mean pouring beer over your head. If you want to do it as a joke sometimes, that's fine. But I'm an NHL champion. I'm a baseball champion. I'm a football champion. Let me get as drunk and obnoxious and, I'm a man of the people. No, you're not. You're not. I don't get it and I don't like it. It doesn't make sense to me. I mean, really, where is it? Is it so you could be on ESPN? Oh, he's a man of the people. Is it so you can be like social media star? It's upsetting, to say the least. The other thing I noticed the other day is like, I was on the road driving again. I told you we're on vacation, so you look out the window a lot, unless you're my kids and you look on a phone. My kid's on the phone. I mean, my youngest son was like on Reddit, and it had a lot of flashing and a lot of moving. Do you remember that scene from Clockwork Orange where they were brainwashing the guy? Roddy McDowell there, when they were brainwashing him and they put the toothpicks in his eyes and made him watch like 36 hours worth of television quick clips. That's what all of this stuff is like. It's all like that. Hey, Dad, look at Reddit. I mean, they're telling me jokes that are not even funny. And it's not because I'm old. I haven't got this good sense of humor. When something's funny, it's funny. And when they show me something that's funny, I laugh at it. But that's 1 out of 10. Even 4 out of 5 dentists recommend Dentyne gum. Or Trident, excuse me. Boomer. But anyway, I was on the road and I noticed that everybody has to wear a uniform, right? We all want to be individuals, but I got to wear a uniform. And what do I mean by this, Bruce? Bikers, right? The guys are in their 10-speed bikes. Got a uniform, got to wear the Italian shirt, the Italian biker shirt, and the shorts, and the helmet, and stickers, and all this kind of stuff. That's a uniform. I understand the bike pants, believe me. After I went out one time, I did 15 miles. I was like, ouch. The pants was fine. But I was wearing a great T-shirt. I didn't need to be aerodynamic. Soccer players, they all have their uniforms too, the sweatsuits and stuff like that. But even outside of sports, it's like the guys on Harley Davidsons. Believe me, I know you're on a Harley Davidson because I heard you 3 miles, but I heard you 3 minutes before you showed up. Vroom, vroom, vroom. That's cool. Noise pollution, that's cool. But I mean, all these guys on Harleys, they're all wearing leather and they're all wearing vests, motorcycle clubs. And even if they're not, even if they're just in the jeans and T-shirt, they still got their Harley T-shirt. I know you're a Harley guy. Fine, I see it. You're the coolest guy of all time. I see it. But you got to wear a uniform. Everybody's got a uniform. 30 minutes of ranting and raving. Also, if you haven't gone on vacation yet, I just want to prepare you. In any place for service industry, be prepared to wait. And you just hope that you have a server that will be honest with you. Because I was lucky enough to have 1 or 2 servers say, it's going to be a little while. I'm doing my best, but it's going to be a little while. And you can understand. As long as you acknowledge me when I walk in and my family when we walk in and tell us what the situation is, I'm not going to yell and scream at you. I know that you're only 1 or 2 people working at the Waffle House here. Speaking of the Waffle House, the problem is, it's like I went to this place, the Huddle House, when I was in South Carolina. I was telling people, I said, the Huddle House, you can't go to the Huddle House. Huddle House is like a 2-tier knockoff of the Waffle House. Waffle House is by no means 1-star dining. Sure as heck ain't 5-star dining, but it's by no means 1-star dining. And then you go into the Huddle House. Half a star. I mean, and it wasn't even late. The only time you go to these places, there's certain places that people swear by that really suck. But, you know, when you've had like 15 beers, you go to the Waffle House, you go to Primanti Brothers in Pittsburgh, that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, that's where you go when you've had too much to drink. Well, that's about it. I hear my kids yelling, so I'm going to have to go break up a fight. So I'm going to go out there and see what happened, and I'm going to go yell at them because they got to know who their father is, right? The father figure, at least. They know who their dad is. Better. Ouch. Otherwise, next week we'll have a really good show. But anyway, my name is Bruce Negrin. The program's called Outside Looking In. You can subscribe to this on iHeart, on Apple Podcasts, on a bunch of stuff. Just let it go into your inbox. You don't even have to think about it anymore. Just subscribe and like once. Outside Looking In with Bruce Negrin, because I'm the guy knocking on the window, trying to see what you were eating for dinner. I'm on the outside. Hey, let me in. Let me in. But seriously, like and subscribe. If you want to reach out to me, my email is brucenice@yahoo.com. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook, because why not? I'm living my best life, yo. You better check it. Again, program's called Outside Looking In. My name is Bruce Negrin, and I will talk to you next week.
Hit it!